Dobry.
Very good. Yeah. Hi. Very nice to meet you.
Dobry. That was not the morning anymore.
Yes. Dzień dobry. It's good morning. Yeah.
Dzień dobry.
I didn't know that Funkmaster was speaking Polish. That's quite amazing.
That's my Google Translate right there.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I see you have the shirt. I need that one. so like, is it on sale anywhere? Maybe you can promote it.
Not yet. This is actually a sample. Trying to make sure we get everything done the right way. It actually came out pretty well. I washed it already and it's still held up.
Quite amazing. One definitely.
Thank you. Funk Jitsu and the Funkmaster logo. So
yeah. So just listening to you, it's obvious that you're a student of the game. You really love it, and you see the fire, you see the passion. It's quite amazing. But you can also see it in the octagon. You can see it because you have never been. You have 2 losses, but you have never been KO'd. You have never been submitted, right?
yeah.
And in the upcoming fight with Raniaya, what's your game plan?
My game plan is just put my hands on that man. I mean, honestly, I don't really go into fights really thinking about how the fight's really gonna go. I dream and visualize about different scenarios, but I never really have like a specific game plan. Like I want to just do this and get this fight here. I know my strengths. You know, I'm gonna put the pressure on him, and if he takes a bad shot, he's going to give me the opportunity to choke him or stuff the shot and end up getting on his back or in his guard when I'm going to start dropping those crazy elbows that I like to throw from the guard position. So it really just depends on how he wants to take this fight. If he wants to try to stand up with me like he did against Joe Soto, not a good idea.
For him,
not a good idea whatsoever. So I think his best chance of winning is trying to get the fight to the ground. I can't see him submitting me unless he was to catch me or something, but you know, I roll some of the best guys in the world. You know, I have no doubt that I can compete with him anywhere and excel. So there's no real game plan. It's just to go out there, fight, have fun, and put that guy away.
You feel really confident, but well, you back it up in the ring as well. Tell me about your past experience, because you said that you always study not only your opponents, but you also study the guys below me
and above. Yeah. I always watch the 145ers. I always watch the 25ers, because there's going to be a point in time where some of those 25ers might come up to my weight class, and it might be a time where the 45 is going to come down, or I might eventually go up to 45. So I'm getting bigger. I've been walking around 65. I've been trying to keep it under 60. And it's a brutal weight cut, man. 30 pounds to get down to 136 is not a fun weight cut. Can you imagine? I'm skin and bones. I'm already shredded. It's just like, how am I really supposed to lose that weight? I lose a lot of muscle getting down, and sometimes it has some diminishing returns. You know, some of the things I do in training, I'm not really able to show and display out there on fight night. But you know, I still feel like I'm having
tired. Like
still be able to have fun fights for the fans, and that's all I really care about. If I can have fights that people remember and you know, it's not boring, I feel like it's okay, you know. But I watch all these guys, man. I got my eyes on all these guys.
So for you, it's not always about the result, like the end result. It's also about the showtime, right?
It's always about the showtime. And, you know, this is entertainment. People want a good show. You know, if I'm going to go out there and just take people down, just lay on them in their guard, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
But
it's boring.
It is boring. You know, I do understand it, but at the same time, it's boring. You know, as an MMA fighter himself, I don't even want to watch that. I'll watch it one time. I'm not going to go back to go watch that fight again. There's just no point.
Yes. It's often very. It's a good strategy because it often works. Like it wins you fights.
Get your hand raised.
Yeah.
It does the job. Pays the bills. But I don't know how many guys are going to be knocking at your door to want to endorse you or do anything like that with those kind of performances.
So with your fights, the 2 fights that you've lost via decision, you feel like those weren't like entertaining fights because like they went the whole distance, or you feel that like they were still good fights? It's just like, you know, the result wasn't.
I felt my Suncell fight, the fight was kind of boring until the 3rd round when I started to really pick it up. And that's when my confidence was really through the roof, and I realized the guy had nothing for me. You know, the media played him up to be this fearless striker and counter striker with heavy hands, and he hit me one time, and it looked like he threw everything into it, and I just kind of just looked at it and I was like, if that's all you got, bro, I wish I'd known this from the beginning of the belt, because I would have just went right after him from the jump. The Caraway fight, I gassed. I did 3 workouts a day of the fight. You know, that was my own undoing, and I learned the hard way. You know, that's why he was a veteran, and
he had nothing left in the gas tank.
Yeah, and I was the rookie still coming up, and that's why I won that challenge. You know, to kind of see and measure myself, and you know, these aren't losses. These are all learning. You know, you use it to learn. If you're not learning from these losses, then you're gonna keep going further and further behind, and these younger guys are gonna catch up because the sport is only getting younger, more evolved, and a lot of young cats are coming up, and they're scary, man. These guys are scary good.
That's what they say, that you either win or you learn or whatever. One thing I would like to ask you as well is because as you said, this is entertainment. MMA is entertainment, so you know people pay to see a show. People also pay to see good fights. But you're also a bit of an entertainer. You have your own persona. It's the Funk Master and stuff like that. Is this is this really you, or is this like more for the show? Or do you obviously feel really confident and comfortable with it? So
it's a little bit of both. You know, I grew up. My dad used to wear these big old gold chains, and we always had the high top. I got baby pictures, rocking gold chains, bracelets, rings, and my dad was heavy into jewelry, as you probably can tell from that. And I wanted to do something different, be myself and stick out from everybody else. And I was like, you know what, this is me. I'm not doing anything to really change anything or fool anybody. I'm still being myself, still Aljamain Sterling. I'm like this on camera, I'm like this off camera. So there's nothing's being played up. This is just the real McCoy. What you see is what you get, and that's a big factor in the sport too, man. People like people they can relate to, and I think I'm a very relatable guy in terms of certain things, like certain ways that I've grown up and certain things that I've been through. And I forgot what the original question was, but did you see the Burrell fight? Did you see the Burrell fight? Did you see that banana split? I thought that guy was tapping, man. I thought he was going to say uncle, but
I'm having so much fun that I forgot the original question as well, so I'm going to just ask another one. The next question, I would like to ask you about Polish fighters, because as you said, you are a student of the game. You watch a lot of fights, and as you know, there are more and more Polish fighters in the UFC. Who is the one to watch when it comes to Polish fighters? Do you have like your favorite? You like their style or their ability?
Well, if there's any favorite Polish fighter that I have, it's the #1 fighter in the world. I think is Joanna Champion. I think she's one of the greatest fighters.
Everybody says Joanna Champion. They don't want to say her real name.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Jędrzejczyk.
Champion. Joanna Champion.
That's what you want to know.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite fighters from Poland.
She's amazing. One of a kind, really.
Yeah, you can't teach what she does. The way she intimidates fighters, and she really tries to get in their head, and then she backs it up, and she throws ruthless combinations.
She's super funny as well.
And she's funny. She's a badass, man. When she steps in that octagon, she has nothing but bad intentions, and very respectful. But when she gets in there, it's kill or be killed with her, and I love that attitude.
And when it comes to male fighters, do you have any favorites?
No favorites, but I have my eye on that guy, Damien Stasiak. He's fighting a guy actually from Long Island that I used to train with back home, Brian Kelleher. So that's an interesting fight that I'm looking forward to, because like I said, I watch all these guys. If you're an entry-level debuting fighter, I'm watching you. If you're on the regional circuit and I happen to catch the fight, I'm watching you. And that's just how it is. I want to make sure I got guys on the regional circuit coming up to me telling me that one day they're gonna take me out, and I'm like, all right, man, you gotta get here first. Yeah, you get here first, and then we'll see what's what.
So with the Funk Master, it's MMA and UFC 24/7.
Pretty much 24/7. I'm doing a little bit of real estate on the side, trying to help my family out.
Sure.
My parents going through a divorce, so I got my own. Everyone's got their own problems, Everyone's got their own things that they got to deal with. I coach, also high school wrestling. That's one of the things I love. Wrestling helped put me on this platform, helped brought me here. If it wasn't for wrestling, I probably wouldn't ever come to Poland. It gave me that opportunity. Opened my eyes to being in the sport, and here I am today.
And as you said, you are a black belt in Funk Jitsu, is it?
Black belt in Funk Jitsu.
Yeah. Any other belts with other, obviously less stellar but less important disciplines?
Well, just a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Funk Jitsu. I think if they had belts for wrestling, I think I would probably be a black belt.
They have in professional wrestling in WWE.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know Ben Askren, but I mimic a lot of my wrestling style off of that guy.
Wrestler.
Yeah, in college. He was the original Funk Master, and my name is actually kind of a tribute to him, because I watched him a lot growing up. Anything I seen him do in a wrestling mat, writing down notes, watching the video, replaying it, jotting down more notes, going to the practice room, trying it, watching all his tutorial videos, and here I am today. I could do probably every single thing that he could do, and it's just being a student of the game, man. If you want to be one of the best, that's what you got to do. Be a student of the game and just indulge yourself in the sport.
You're actually a huge fan of Askren. He's so fluid in his motions. That's like amazing. Like and that's what you need to do. It's always like with the grappling, the better position you take.
It's a dance, man. You go out there. It's a fight, but it's really a dance. You know, if I do something, how do you react? How do you respond? And what am I going to do after your initial response? And how do you set everything up? So I really love this sport. There's so many ways you can win, so many different ways you can lose. And it's you never know what's going to happen when you step inside the octagon. Sometimes I come in there with like, all right, I'm going to try to keep it standing for a little bit. And next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this guy down. You know what? I want to take it down to the ground. And next thing you know, I feel like I'm just going to stand up and work my striking a little bit. I think my last fight was probably one of my best striking displays next to the Augusto Mendes fight. And but eventually my game plan is to put your ass on the floor, drive your head against that cage, cheese grater your head, and land some elbows, man. That's really what it is. And usually that gets him out of there.
Okay, so I wish you all the best, and let's see the Funkmaster win some titles in the UFC.
Hopefully 2018. Hopefully it's the year of the Funk.